pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Next, we're going to have the new board member oath of office, and Brian, if you would please stand, and Lauren, would you read the oath?
I will. Bunch of circles. We'll be sideways here so the camera can see us. How's that? So it is an honor, Brian, that you were selected to guide the education of our community's children. And as you recite the oath of office, you assume a tremendous responsibility as a director of our school district with duties empowered by the Minnesota legislature. Having signed the acceptance of office and the oath of office, please now publicly affirm your commitment by repeating the oath. Repeat after me, I guess. How's that? I swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and that I will discharge faithfully
and that I will discharge faithfully
the duties of the office of school board member
the duties of the office of school board member
of Independent School District number 277
of Independent School District 277
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the school board. Yay!
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Welcome aboard.
We should make him go around like this. This is your initiation.
Everyone's saying hi, I already know you.
Gary already tried to.
No, we were congratulating
Haze
you
me
on
to-
sworn in.
Oh, yay, okay.
Who's your tie? I finally told him I was kidding. Chair moves for approval of the agenda. Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Announcement. This Wednesday, May 3rd, 3:30 to 6 p.m. at the Performing Arts Center, we'll have the staff and retiree program for anybody that can make it. Be great to see you there. Facilities Committee proposed date change to Wednesday, May 17th at 7 o'clock, right here. Graduation's May 31st, 6 p.m., Hadar Field. Cross our fingers that the weather's good. Finance Committee, June 1st, 7:30 a.m. Via Zoom. And June 5th is our next regular board meeting, 6 o'clock, right here. Next, are there any members of the public that wish to come before the board to speak?
I just want to clarify something from last 2 meetings ago.
Come on up here, please, and state your name.
Carrie, I just wanted to clarify one thing, aside from all the troubles I have, or my family has had, or the struggle with it, whatever the word. To air quote a parent and say, we all think our kids are gifted. According to this neuro assessment, my son is gifted. He runs 140 plus in his IQ. And that was all I wanted to clarify.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Reports. Move on to the treasurer's report.
We begin with March treasurer's report. I don't have April's in front of me, but you will start with March. March for Rupp, Anderson, Squires, and Waltzberger annual staff recognition event, $300. Dasher Management annual staff recognition event, $400. Kraus Anderson annual staff recognition event, $1,000. Preferred One, Westonka Wellness, $420.81. Anonymous, Hilltop Primary School, $140. Black Bottom Giving Fund, Shirley Hills Primary School, $100. GMS PTO, Grandview Middle School, $2,235.44. Shirley Hills PTO, Shirley Hills Primary School, $2,000. Charities Aid Foundation, Mount Westonka High School, $87.32. Anonymous, Mount Westonka High School, $67.60. The Minneapolis Foundation, Tyler Russell Hill Sunshine Fund Scholarship, $5,000. Butch Humbert, Larry Excel Scholarship, $2,000. Nick,
200 or 2,000?
200.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nick Monty Scholarship, $500. Kathy Pruitt, Eric Haugen Memorial Scholarship, $1,000. Rebecca Sabowski, Eric Haugen Memorial Scholarship, $100. And Weiser Insurance Scholarship, $500. And Friends of MWHS First Robotics Club, $141.63. And total cash donations for the 2022-23 school year so far, $212,772.97. And Mr. Chair and fellow board members, I've looked at the check ledger for both April and March, and all seems to be in order.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to the student rep report. Serena?
Good evening. To start off in activities, Student Senate hosted the Minnesota Association of Student Councils and Honor Society Annual State Convention. Over 220 students from more than 25 schools visited. Elections were held for the new executive board, and juniors Karin Childers and Kendall Sabaski both campaigned for positions. Karin was elected as Minnesota State Student Council Vice President, and Kendall was elected as Minnesota State Honor Society President. Our Student Senate was recognized as outstanding, and I was awarded the title of Minnesota State Officer of the Year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just 3 hours after the state convention ended, our Senate also presented prom coronation and crowned Queen Chloe Bjorland and King Brecken Thompson. The juniors are busy preparing for prom, being hosted this weekend at Nicollet Island Pavilion. Fashion Club, Outdoor Endeavors, Saga, Spanish Club, Gaming Club, Link Crew, Environmental Club, Letters of Love, Future Medical Professionals, and SAD are also active and meeting. In the arts, concert choir members earned excellent and superior ratings at Solon Ensemble Competition last month and are hosting their spring concert on Monday, May 16th. Band is also hosting their spring concert on Monday, May 8th. The cast of The Play That Goes Wrong is starting rehearsals soon for their performance at the State Theater in June. The GMS musical Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory performed last month to much applause from the community. Westonka Community Theater also hosted auditions for their summer production of Bye Bye Birdie this past weekend. Mad Jazz earned a rating of superior at solo and ensemble competition last month, and are looking forward to hosting Coffee House Jazz performances that will take place on May 12th and 13th at St. John's Church in Mound. In athletics, the girls lacrosse team has over 51 athletes playing in grades 7th through 12th. And while recent rainy day weather has canceled some games, their current record is 3-3. They have a total of 11 graduates this year, including Nora Suprell, Jordan LaRue, Audrey Bernal, Paige Ostrowski, Haley Sawai, Kate Gilmore, Chloe Bjorland, Elena Mather, Izzy Sullivan, and Taylor Dahlman. They also have a game this evening. The softball team has a total of 35 athletes participating and have had 5 games so far this year. Their highlight has been a 16-run victory against Jordan with home runs by Addie Eaton and Brooklyn Reinke. They also have a game this evening. Boys tennis has 50 members currently playing in grades 6 through 12 with a current varsity record of 10-1. Track and field has had many highlights this season, with Peyton Casper setting a new school record in the pole vault with a height of 14 feet 6 inches. The girls' team is undefeated in quad meets so far, and the team is the largest it has been, with over 180 athletes. Seniors Sam Diosegi, Peyton Casper, and Laura Sonneborg will all be continuing their athletic careers in track and field during college this fall. Golf, baseball, cheer, and boys lacrosse all declined for comment this month, but are active. And finally, in academics, DECA sent 28 students to the 2023 International Career Development Conference last week in Orlando, Florida. Over 22,000 business and marketing students competed. Many students earned medals, including Ellen Pruitt, Gwendolyn Rue, Savannah Newell, Maureen Riley, Laura Sonneborg, Matt Harmer, Isaac Paul, and Rocco Zahaski. Harmer, Paul, and Zahaski finished 6th place in the world. The speech team declined for comment this month, but has been seeing so much success recently. Connor Houston will be participating in the Phoenix, Arizona competition in June. Wade Carlin and Thomas Duggan earned 12th place for their duo, Brecken Thompson earned 6th place for his humor piece, and Ellen Pruitt placed 2nd in the info category. And that is all I have this evening. Thank you for your
So
time.
I just wanted, my
Yes.
wife and I had the opportunity to see the spring play, the play that went wrong, and it was absolutely delightful. I want you to
Thank
know
you.
that.
Thank you so
Absolutely
much.
delightful, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we'll do the teaching and learning report.
Have you been as busy as she has?
Oh, I don't know. No comment. It is May though.
Yeah, it's true, yeah, you've been working on it.
Yeah. I just want to start my report tonight, just letting you know that it is Minnesota MCA state testing time, and we're at the tail end of testing almost 1,400 students here in Westonka in grades 3 through 8, 10 and 11, and it has gone very, very well. And I just want to emphasize the piece that is really a collaborative effort. I mean, no one wakes up as a student that I'm ready to take my MCA, this is the only thing I want to do on this day. But it is our community's accountability measurement. It is a snapshot of our student learning. We do use the results to really look at our learning, and it's just been a terrific partnership between families, students, administrators, and staff that has gone very, very smoothly. If there is a stressor for me, so I get that phone call and I hear, Mark, the lab or the Chromebooks are not working or things are freezing, and now it's high accountability testing going on, but it's gone very, very well this year. So results will come back in August. That's always the piece I wish was a little faster, but that is just how things work at the state, but it's gone very well. Just a few curriculum updates for you. This has been the year of catch-up with academic standards. The state of Minnesota, every 10 years, has new academic standards. And you'll notice that we've been working on the 2018 physical education standards, 2018 state art and music standards. The pandemic also has delayed some of this work. It's 2023. And we're just finishing up embedding these new academic standards for 2018. So I've met with all the Phi-Ed teachers, art and music teachers this year. We've updated their courses programming to reflect those new standards. We're now continuing the work with the 2019 state science standards, and that work will now focus more and more at the elementary level, middle school next year. And the changes that you'll see coming through, and I mentioned this before, there'll be a new 8th grade high school Earth Science course that'll launch in the fall of 2024.
8th or 9th?
Ninth grade. And this now is something you will see across the state of Minnesota. That is something that is part of these new academic standards. They recognize that the state, Earth Science is an area that has never really fit well in the high school level. They've done some changes, and physical science has moved out of high school into 8th grade instead, and that's how they fit this in. The other thing that'll happen then in the spring of 2025 will be a new MCA4 science test. And there's not a lot of details about it, but this whole theme that we talk about, that we want authentic learning, we want to apply the learning, that science MCA4 assessment will reflect that even more and more. We're just waiting to see what that'll look like, and that'll come sometime next year.
Was there science ever at the 9th grade level in the past? Because I mean, when I went to school, that was the 9th grade science. I was just curious, is it something that just fell out, now they're bringing it back because they?
So it used to be 9th grade, and it still is today, 9th grade physical science.
Okay.
So we've changed things around where physical science moves into 8th grade, more of a preparatory, honestly, for physics, physical science into physics.
Yeah.
So there's room to bring in the earth science. That's what every high school is adapting to that piece. The next piece that we're just starting to work on are now the 2020 state high school standards in English language arts. And I'm working with the high school English department right now on that. That work will expand into elementary and middle schools next year. If there is one change that is coming through, two things: more emphasis on writing, more emphasis on different types of writing, argument, persuasive writing, when you think about what we need in careers versus just creative writing. And then new benchmarks around Native American literature and bringing in that voice into our literature books and things that we're reading in the classroom. And I just want to end tonight, just want to highlight a couple student accomplishments, activities that have gone on. April 21st, Shakopee High School hosted the Minnesota State High School League Visual Arts Festival. It's a competition. And we had, I want to get this straight, we had a great representation from the high school, 18 entries. Out of that, 6 superior awards and 5 awards of excellence. And this is a competition of students across the state of Minnesota. I just want to show you just a few of the things that they're creating. When you think about this, these are high school students through our art program, and this is the art that competed and earned awards at this competition. It's really quite amazing, and it continues this reputation of just an absolutely strong art program. And I love that on the right side. Maybe it's something for prom, maybe it's balls, but it truly is creative work that our students are doing at the high school. And then I wanted to send up, I talk a lot about robotics here, and I'm going to continue tonight. The team, during the pandemic, we actually dropped down to about 11 students. This year, it went up to 38. And I predict it's going to continue to grow. It truly is an amazing program. Just some pictures. The guy on the right, you'll see, that's Mr. Kimball. The kids love Mr. Kimball. And so they have him dancing around all the time. But the robot that they built was one of the most sophisticated robots ever created. And I really give them credit on that. And then the lower left-hand corner, those are the mentors that help out with the students. But it's really been something this year to see these 38 students just build this thing. And I just brought this in. I'm just going to show you a 20-minute clip so you get that idea. This is what they're building. It has to do something. That's part of the competition. So the thing about that's our students that designed that. They did the CADing, they did the coding of that. They have adult mentors, but it wasn't like dad or mom doing it all for the kid. They were just there to guide them. And I just think about the skills that those students are developing and just chatting with them. This was our end of year celebration last week. A few of them, a lot of them, they're going to go into coding. They're going to go into something with robotics or engineering or technology. And a lot of it is that they got a taste of this, and here you go.
Heidi and I went down to the convention center for the
Yeah, for that MSBA where they had all of the different teams. And
yeah, we met the one guy that
the
came.
coordinator was,
Yeah, the
it was
coordinator.
really exciting to
Yeah.
get to know
And
more about it.
Yeah.
He wanted us to get out there and play with
Yes.
these things. I was afraid I was gonna break them.
Yeah.
It was really.
Yeah, so you got the larger view of what FIRST Robotics is, and just so happy that we can offer this type of team and experience for kids at the high school. So again, I share these two, the art and this with you tonight because really our mission is, yes, we're learning in the classroom, but we want to apply the learning outside of the classroom, and these are just a couple ways that we do that. So just some really fun stuff. And that is my report for tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kathy, the financial report.
Good evening, board.
Tonight I'm here to give a brief update on the business services for the district. But before I do that, I'd like to welcome Brian as a new board member. And I understand you have a background in accounting.
I do.
And so if you ever want to get together and talk school finance, just let me know. I'd love to.
You're the first person to talk.
Most people don't want to talk to me about finance, but I
I
think
can
you
talk
might.
debits and credits all you want.
Okay, all right. I look forward to that.
That'd be great.
All right, the enrollment count as of today, May 1st, is 2,412 students. And the last couple of months have been kind of fun. We've had a surge right at the end of the school year. We gained 8 students last month, and then this month we've gained 7 students, so 15. And new families or students returning, and so it's kind of a nice way to end the school year. And we feel like throughout the course of the year, we should be hitting our budget goal for our student counts pretty closely. Revenue and expenditures through the end of April indicate that we have received 67.7% of our revenue, and we take a look at the prior years to see if we're sitting pretty close. And again, we're looking even beyond that over the COVID years. Both for revenues and expenditures. Our expenditures are at 74.4%, and again, every indication is that it's we have a solid budget, and we should end the year right on track, or hopefully with our revised budget. Just a few other things going on in the business office. We're kind of winding down with the fiscal year and working on the budget for next month, of course, and we've also been in communication with our auditors, kind of picking out preliminary dates for the audit this summer, looking at the end of August as our typical dates. Again, we'll have a finance committee meeting in June, reviewing all this. A couple other items, again, to look for next month are workman's compensation. We're bidding that again this year, hoping to get some good pricing, and our copier lease is up. I think that's it. I should mention one other thing. We had, one of our actions at the end of the year is to kind of reconcile all of our COVID funding, and we have been watching for additional funds that might be available, and we were able to find one pool of money called COVID testing grants that we were able to secure some leftover dollars in, and we have a project at Hilltop for indoor air quality that will be implemented this summer, so we're really happy about that.
This was a tremendous find and effort by Kathy and her team, where literally we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's spectacular, really nice work, and it's going to really help our overall budget. But it's also going towards what the state has designated and put in good use.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Kathy.
you.
Kathy, how often does that copier lease come up? Is that every other year, every 2 years? or-
Well, usually it's every 5 years, but when COVID happened, obviously, we didn't have a lot of copies going on. People weren't in our buildings. And so we did what was called a release. So we had our 5-year, and it saved us some dollars. It was basically a Band-Aid for a couple of years just to use our old machines. And so our current machines, we've had 7 years. And so I have a feeling we'll probably be back on track to do 5 years. But if things are holding up, and we'll maybe entertain a release 5 years from now, because it seems like with Chromebooks and as things become more paperless, we don't use our copiers as much as we used to, but you still need them. So I'm still a little bit of a paper person.
Me too. So, good. Thank you.
Good question.
We'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Board members, just a couple updates on your agenda and then a few other items. First of all, if you noticed in consent, you're approving our high school graduation list. And so when you get to the May, you approve those names, and then we do the ceremony at the end of the month. It's May 31st this year, and we hope to be on Hadorf again. We have as a backup the gym if the weather is inclement, but excited for that celebration. When we go into some other discussion action items, would share with you that we're excited about bringing One Act Play to our programs that we offer. We found that there's a number of kids that would like to participate and really trying to advance not just our athletics, but also our arts and our activities. And so when we notice that there's a desire to add, we have a hard time saying no. And sometimes it starts where it's not funded, and then they fundraise for it. And I'll share with you today, this year, we're planning on taking a lot of our unfunded activities and funding them, because once you go 6, 7 years longer, and then the people that started them wonder, why is it that other sports are funded and ours isn't? And the reason why was they wanted an activity, we wanted to offer it, we just didn't have the budget yet. But eventually we want to bring them into the fold, and so we're excited about bringing One Act Play. You're going to see a facility use agreement on your agenda, and that is really talking about a rental agreement. We took it through our policy to make sure that they understood, and we're really just trying to update it to measures and trying to also be empathetic of how different people use our facilities. So one condition in this is if you are renting out our facilities, for example, maybe you're an outside basketball organization, there's multiple uses, this would apply to you. This wouldn't apply to if you are renting our facilities for a couple hours to do a birthday party. And so with that, a lot of people aren't gonna take out the liability insurance, et cetera, and so we really tried to balance how people use our facility and also protect the district. You see an interesting action item that's related to one specific teacher, and it's rescinding a resignation and also approving, and this is the first time. It's amazing, 17 years in the job, and I'll continue to be able to say I still have first times. Right now in the state, they're talking about changing the legislation around retirement, and so this is language that benefits this employee. It doesn't have an impact at the district, and we were happy to comply. So we checked in with our legal, and that's why we also offer that to anyone that's retiring this year. It tends to just be specific in this case. Then you get a series of positions with technology specialists. And so you see that if you go back agenda or two ago, we accepted a resignation of an employee who is retiring. And so with that opened up the position, and part of our way of how are we making some budget adjustments is always looking if we can compress. And this is one of those cases that we felt like we could compress a couple positions in one, give an added pay benefit to the person that's willing to do both positions, and then also at the same time, in that savings, address some of the technology support needs that we have with yet another position. And so that's why you find an elimination and an addition. It's really just through a restructure that we felt like we could bring a budget savings to the district, and also we believe we're gonna be able to keep up that level of service. Now, like anything, if we try and it doesn't work out as well as it planned, we can always take an opposite action next spring, but we feel like we have a good plan that this should be able to work. Action item H with our medical insurance. Everyone knows the day and age that we're in, and when you see flat increases, you know that things are going really well. And what's going really well is a few years back, we were self-insured, and we have now established beyond what the recommended fund balance is for a runout. And so we're trying to do that careful balance of making sure that we continue to appropriately build, but not build fund balance for the sake of building fund balance. And so it's timely that we take a zero right now, and we just feel very blessed that we're in that position. We have members that are increasing right now in this plan, and when we look at our performance this year, again, it was really strong. And we know that can change. We were just talking to some surrounding districts, and I think the highest one I heard was 25% increase. And we're talking about big budgets, so when you put 25%, that can really change, but
if you look at our plan of how we help make our budget goal this year, this definitely played into it of not having an increase for health and dental. Then finally, what you have is action I and J, and I would say with I, that's part of our budget reduction process, and so you took an action at the previous. This is two actions go along with this process when you're on a continuing contract, and so that is part of our budget reduction process. Always a hard conversation to take on these actions, and yet one that we know and have the responsibility to make sure our expenditures, everything aligns. And then lastly, on action item J, we had this on your previous agenda. An employee through visitor expressed some concerns. We looked into those concerns, and now we're bringing that action back to you after we looked into it. And so with your agenda today, that's a lot of actions. Lastly, two other items I just want to, or three. May is a super exciting time in schools. It's like every time you turn around the next day, it's another celebration, it's another event. And so just reading off, we got prom coming up this weekend, we got scholarship night coming up, we got our athletic banquet, we got graduation, we got concerts, and that's just the high school. We got the excitement building up to Wolf Ridge, and so our kids are doing that. And of course, you have things as simple as field day, but those things take a lot of work, but I just really appreciate our staff in general of the time and energy that goes into each one of these events. Just this weekend, we had State Student Senate was here, and I came into the parking lot and I saw the War Road band. And I said, holy cow, now that's impressive. When they say state, I guess we're taking from all parts of the state.
Did I hear correctly that Shirley Hills and Hilltop are going the same week?
Yeah, they are for Wolf Ridge.
Okay,
Yep.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That wasn't going on when
No.
my kids were going through, so that's neat.
And so a lot that's going on. It's also Recognition Week this week, and so today was Principals Day. And principals don't ask for a lot of celebration around their day, but it's important for me just to say here that I feel really blessed that not only have we found some fantastic principals, but they've really called this their home, their place where they want to be, and they've been here for a really long time. And I couldn't be more proud to be able to work alongside them. We have Teacher Appreciation Week. We have a recognition banquet on Wednesday. It was mentioned, but it's was going to be on Friday. We had a snow day, so we made that a school day. And so the reason why it's on Wednesday this year and kind of in a compressed format is just we took that day for school, which we needed to do, and we fit this after school. And so we're gonna try to compress this. One thing for the board to know that Dave Botts will be one of those people that we highlight. That's new for us. We typically don't, or never have we done board members, but I just said when someone's been here longer than the new teacher that we just hired was alive, we call that retirement in the school board, and so we'll put it in that way. And then lastly, with facilities, we have our facilities meeting that got pushed back to May 17th. And in that meeting, I expect a recommendation coming from our facilities committee to bring to the board. At our board meeting, you're gonna have an update on survey results, and then really what I will be seeking from the board is a direction that you would like me to take, whether you want me to prepare agenda action items for you to bring a ballot question to the community, or if there is some other direction that you want to go. But we will have information for you on that survey information prior to that meeting.
And we will be having an election in the fall, both for school board members and for the
Capital projects
capital
levy
projects.
renewal, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really with the bond there, if that's something we want to pursue. So I just, for your timeline, know that that survey is going on right now. We'll have those results for you to be able to analyze, and then really having that discussion at that June 5th school board meeting. And so, like you would expect, a lot that's going on, a lot of positive things that are going on, and also, just to be honest, May is a fast-paced month, and so everyone's really running fast, trying to spin around and keeping up. But glad that we get to do this work.
Seems like it's been a quick school year. really flying by, so, thank you, Kevin. Chair moves for approval of the consent agenda. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move on to the discussion items. Chair moves for approval of action item 8A, approval of the addition of a D1 position. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair moves for approval of action item 8B, approval of the updated Westonka's facility use agreement and corresponding AR 1335. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Chair moves for approval of action item 8C, motion to rescind February 2nd, 2023 approval of Michelle Borowitz's resignation with the June 5th, 2023 resignation date, and motion to approve the resignation to move to July 1st, 2023. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carries. Chair moves for approval of action item 8D, approval of the elimination of the district's operating specialist position. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Chair moves for approval of action item 8E, approval of the elimination of a technology support specialist position at Grandview Middle School. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair moves for approval of action item 8F, approval of the addition of a district operations and support specialist position. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair moves for approval of action item 8G, approval of increasing the hours of the technology support specialist position at Shirley Hills and Hilltop for 2024 from 7 hours per day to 8 hours a day. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair moves for approval of action item 8H, approval of group medical insurance renewal with no premium increases. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I love that one, that's great news. That's the reason for you to approve, right?
Chair moves for approval of action item 8I, approval of the resolution placing Aurora, is that Monnier, on a 1.0 FTE unrequested leave of absence. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Chair moves for approval of action item 8J, approval of the resolution relating to the termination and non-renewal of teaching contract of Margaret Sundquist, a 1.0 FTE probationary teacher. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm gonna abstain from that one, just without having the history.
All right, thank you. Does any of the board members have anything else you want to bring up at this time? If not, I move for adjournment. Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Have a good evening, everybody.